The kind of masculine energy, I think, is good.
Yeah.
I think having a culture that like celebrates the aggression a bit more has its own merits.
In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches.
Weak men have got no place in this new world, believe me.
You're either going to be a leader or a follower, and it's okay to be either one, but you have to choose.
There's a magical power amongst men, which has been forgotten and lost. When you put enough men in the same room, there's a transference of energy that makes us feel invincible.
Sorry, I had to assert my dominance real quick. What time do you wake up in the morning? 9 a.m.? 7 a.m.? Well, for Ashton Hall, whose morning routine has recently gone massively viral, the day starts at 4 o'clock sharp. From there, he embarks on a gauntlet of self-care and exercise that would make Patrick Bateman hit snooze, strictly regimented, down to the minute. What kind of occupation requires such a strict schedule? What kind of man needs an entire film crew, 2 separate vehicles, a canine unit, and yes, that is a drone, to go on a morning run? Well, you see, Ashton is an online coach for other fitness coaches, which in 2025 is apparently a real job. Wait, hold on. Does that mean if somebody coaches Ashton, then that would make them a coach who coaches online coaches who coach other fitness coaches? And then, if somebody coaches that guy, Ashton lives a life padded with luxury, surrounded by attractive women and loyal assistants, biceps bulging from his tank top, angling himself so that you can see the logo on the headrest behind him, face freshly bananaed. He explains that you too can live like this. But Ashton, you say to yourself, sweet Ashton, how? Well, just comment brand or strategy or team and he'll help you grow your brand, of course. If you follow his advice, you'll have a personal bodyguard to escort you to a private helicopter ride in no time. 5 things I had to quit to level up. College. Apparently, according to Ashton, that's only for doctors, nurses, and lawyers. Everybody else, too bad. Meaningless relationships. If you don't see a wife in her, why waste time? Okay, so the college part is making sense now. On his official website, Ashton sells a course. Because of course, he does. They all do. It's a 12-month program that starts out at a mere $3,300. But if you buy the 5,500 Train With Me Diamond or the 8,250 Train With Me Platinum upgrades, you'll be automatically entered to win a trip to Florida to train with the Ashton Hall himself. Which, at that price point, I can only assume that he gives you a passionate kiss on the lips in between reps. Ashton currently has 12 million, 13 million, 14 million, 15 million followers on Instagram. I've had to edit this part of the script multiple times. He can barely pour his Saratoga spring water ice baths fast enough to celebrate crossing these milestones. To give you an idea of just how quickly his following has grown, he celebrated 12 million followers on April 7th, and by April 10th, only 3 days later, had already gained another million. He's also racked up a sizable following on other platforms like TikTok as well. In fact, he's been so successful that Jimmy Dollarson himself, with the hunger of a cartoon character stalking a vulnerable viral pie on a windowsill, immediately latched on to his muscled teats to drain any amount of entertainment value, as usual, like a vibe vampire for his child audience. But internet fame has pros and cons. Something weird that happens when you post online for a living is that your face will start showing up on random sites. According to this article by Rohit Kumar, I'm blonde, have a slim build, and am 5'6" tall. Thank you, Rohit. But it isn't all flatteringly inaccurate descriptions. Just the other day, while walking up to the door of my home, a complete stranger slammed on the brakes, rolled down their window, and said,
I know who you are.
They were probably just a well-meaning fan, but in that moment I realized just how fragile my privacy and safety is. That's why I'm glad that today's sponsor is Incogni. Data brokers are companies that scan the web for info like your name, address, and social security number to sell for a profit. This puts you and your family at risk of endless spam calls, identity theft, and even stalking. Data brokers legally must remove your information if asked, but they will not make it easy. Let Incogni do the hard work for you. With their automated removal process, they can reach out to hundreds of data brokers and will handle any objections while keeping you constantly updated. With their custom removals feature in the unlimited plans, you can point to any website where your info is visible and a privacy agent will take care of the rest. It's super easy to get started. Just make an account, grant them the right to act on your behalf, and watch them work. If you want to protect your privacy online, use my code FunkyFrog or go to incogni.com/funkyfrog to get 60% off an annual Incogni plan right now. It's easy to dismiss this account as a joke, not worth commentary, especially when Ashton himself plays into the meme enough to satisfy the post-Adult Swim, chronically meta mind of the average internet user. After being made fun of for a painfully fake client call,
so looking at it, bro, we gotta go ahead and get in at least 10,000.
He started throwing out even more ridiculous numbers and referencing it in his captions.
You've made your first 10,000. Congratulations. We gotta do at least 20, bro. He's gonna do at least 10 billion, bro.
After one of the timestamps for his routine seemed to indicate that he defied gravity without a broom for 4 minutes mid-dive, this became a bit for a future video.
I kid you not, bro. I was really in the air for 4 minutes.
I'll be there in 4 minutes.
But it would be a mistake to say that Ashton is just in it for to lulz. He clearly takes his content very seriously, as you can tell from his response to the many, many, many parodies of his routine.
I came here to address the nonsense. So many videos are being sent to me, duplicates of my videos. This is for the creators that are sick and tired of their work being copied. Listen to me well. You're either going to be a leader or a follower, and it's okay to be either one, but you have to choose.
Well, it would just be a shame to waste all this footage. The evidence is 3:52 a.m. Let's get it started. Oh shoot, I forgot, I gotta have a chain on. Now we gotta brush our teeth. You can't use tap water because it'll make you gay. So we gotta use, of course, our very fancy, with my great masculine strength, I open the bottle, pour it into our personal prized possession, the Minion Princess mug. Really epic up-close shot. I'm so tired. All right, bon appetit. To assert our dominance over the neighbors, we have to do push-ups outside. So, follow me. You gotta be quiet. Dude, he does push-ups till from 4:04 to 4:17. Does that mean I have to do push-ups for 13 minutes straight? Oh, okay. Ladies, try not to swoon. I think we're good on push-ups now.
Always gotta be center attention.
You're interrupting Bible study, bro. Do you even love Jesus? What the hell, bro? You see, this is when all the Ninja Turtles had the same color bandana. Hex, you're not paying attention. Hex, you're not listening to me. I gotta censor his butthole. He's violent. He's committing acts of violence. All right, I gotta meditate on that for a second. I gotta write something profound here. It's art.
These nuts. Got him!
This is a good one. Now it is the moment that you have all been waiting for. The ice face bath. Yeah, that's the shot. Quentin Tarantino. Dude, this is cold as hell. It hurt my fingies. That is, it's so cold. Wow. Do you feel any richer yet?
I'm dripping all over the place.
What do we do now, Mr. Hall? Oh, this is when he gets dressed. I'm already dressed. I get in trouble otherwise.
Patreon exclusive. Here I go.
Y'all can watch me put on my shoes. Oh, hell yeah. Why did you just try to parkour off of me? Are you having fun? Good. Get a load of those big steppers. This video's about me, not him. No! No! Stop it. Ashton does not have drip like I do. Rainbow ring, the star ring, the piece de la resistance. That's a little fraud. They're just not doing it like me. We gotta pack our fanny pack. Like this cat, this Santa stress ball, a scratched lottery ticket that's been on the counter for, I can only assume, months. Is that a Dave & Buster's gift card? Oh shit! I don't have an elevator. Beep boop, beep boop. Adios. Of course, the one day when I need to film is the day that the treadmill is broken. The treadmill is not interested in doing anything above a gentle walking pace today. Now we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Alright, here we are. I can't dive, it's too shallow. I would be so mad if you're not recording. It's so cold. You wanna play mermaids? Ladies, please. Okay, now we do the banana peel method, not to be confused with the grapefruit method. Now we gotta eat a banana the not gay way. It takes longer than I expected to eat a banana. Just sitting here in the silence.
You ate that banana pretty fast.
What are you trying to say? It just kind of feels slimy. Oh, yeah. Hey. What's next, Mr. Hall? I love how we can have the toilet paper out, but we can't put it on the roll. We can have it.
You took the toilet paper that was in here
readily
earlier,
available. Now we gotta put on a suit. Okay, now that I am in the proper attire, we actually have to do another ice bath. One was not enough. We have to do another one. Another one.
Is this on the Zoom call?
Another one. Chop chop, ice bath boy. Ah, towel. Fuck you. My understanding is you will be cooking me a sumptuous breakfast while I work very hard doing business things. What the fuck is this? Ashton seems to have mastered reels like a pro fisherman, and if you go back through his catalog, you can watch him tune his content into its current algorithmically optimized form. The visuals are perfectly lit, and there's an almost ASMR quality to the audio. It's hypnotizing. So, like, I'm super rich, and, like, I have really cool cars, and I go to the gym all the time. That's why I have so big muscles. Some of y'all hated that. Some of you liked it a little too much. His commitment to using Saratoga branded water for everything drew attention, so he escalated to buying entire pallets stacked to the ceiling. Smashing a bottle of this overpriced water led to a flood of comments, so he set up a camera to capture the exact spot that he would accidentally drop bottles again and again and again. Even his choice of when to wear and not wear socks is tailored to bait countless comments like, why does bro not wear socks with his shoes? Bro, you gotta cop some socks. Are we not gonna talk about how he's not wearing socks? We talk about it under every single video, actually. That's the whole point! Despite how recognizable this kind of obvious staging is, I don't think that the average person truly comprehends just how easily every aspect of this type of video can be faked, especially in short form. We can't know if Ashton actually owns the sterile, suspiciously undecorated condo or the expensive cars that he films in. We can't know if any of this is real. In influencer-infested cities like New York City, Miami, or LA, you could accidentally stumble into 3 different private jet sets on your way to get a scooped gluten-free bagel and a facelift. Even his physical results can't be trusted when the average gymfluencer is shooting up more than a, well, This is America. You can probably fill in that joke for yourself.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied.
Remember that earlier clip of me jumping into a pool at 7:36 a.m.? Well, it actually wasn't 7:36 a.m. because the pool didn't open until 9, and my local gym didn't open until even later. I lied to you, and you fell for it. Because why wouldn't you? You only see what you're supposed to see. If you ever find yourself feeling a little too jealous of one of these lifestyle content creators, just imagine how awkward it is for them to set up a tripod in public, and then they gotta, attach the camera, and then, maybe they mess up a take. And then they gotta readjust the camera and start all over again. Or maybe they have someone filming for them, and then if that person messes up, they have to completely break out of character to argue with them. Why aren't you filming in landscape mode, idiot? But even if the videos are fake, that doesn't mean that they can't have real-world effects. Ashton Hall has clearly captured the attention of a lot of young men, and I think his popularity indicates a really interesting shift in the content targeting male audiences. For instance, that the average man's man of decades past, after witnessing this level of pampering, might be tempted to drop a word archaically used to refer to a bundle of sticks. Or that the British call cigarettes still for some reason. That's really confusing. Either way, I'm gonna be pissed. Secondhand smoke is only slightly more bearable than homophobia. When I was a teenager, a guy admitting that his shampoo and conditioner were in 2 separate bottles might as well have come out, but Ashton showcases an almost obsessive preoccupation with skincare and personal grooming, baptizing his face multiple times a day. But beyond that, there is this inherent contradiction to Ashton Hall's world of racing in Lululemon tactical gear with captions like, "Lions hunt, get off the couch. As men, we are here to hunt. We protect and provide," before being served a toddler's breakfast of pre-sliced bananas. Also, have you considered that this couch is incredibly comfortable? He is explicitly presenting himself as a standard for masculinity and physical prowess. But everything is done for him. Meals cooked for him, cars driven for him, baths drawn for him. Having others perform these mundane tasks is obviously supposed to communicate power. Look at all these people, I can afford to do random bullshit for me. But it also communicates a kind of helplessness. Like, seriously? You're telling me you can't pour dressing over your own damn salad? One of the few times we see him drive himself, he can't even park between the lines. This is supposed to be the life of a rich, accomplished, powerful man, but it's also the life of a child. And even then, mommy and daddy stop helping you get dressed at a certain point because you're a big boy now. Right? Another thing that confused me when I started looking into this account is Ashton's constant references to his faith.
I realized that God has me here to lead, not to follow anyone. So that's what I'm going to do. People follow Jesus. Why? Because he was great. As a Christian man, why are you angry if they're following you?
He frequently records himself reading the Bible or watching snippets of sermons. His 8 p.m. bedtime is partially based on a philosophy that he often repeats under his videos: sin lives at night. Because apparently sin abides by vampire rules, which, if that's the case, I probably eat enough garlic to clean me out both physically and spiritually. In his bio, it says "for his glory" with a capital H and the high five emoji, but this just adds another layer of contradiction to his doctrines of douchery, because everything I'm seeing is for Ashton's glory. Unless God just really with ice baths. Nothing says Christian humility like eating gold flake covered steak with your bros, or fanning out hundreds in the face of the cashier while they ask if you want your receipt. Remember that famous passage from the New Testament, "Thus saith the Lord, flex on them hoes"? Once again, this is a juvenile fantasy, a middle schooler's idea of what rich people do. And I wonder if a certain communist hippie wearing open-toed shoes 2,000 years ago would approve. I'm sure when he said, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter into the kingdom of God, he was just Joshua-ing. But maybe I shouldn't be so confused by this. After all, appealing to religious tradition has been a thoroughly thumbed page in the Alpha Male Handbook, a favorite talking point of the loudest contributors to what has been bitcoined the manosphere. What I think a lot of people fail to notice through the lack of socks and inexplicable Saratoga brand loyalty is that Ashton Hall is also a part of this ecosystem. Comparing the soft-spoken Ashton to the maulding men of the podcast sphere may seem harsh, but if you look closer, you'll find that his messaging is not all that different, especially when it comes to women. The women who exist in Ashton Hall's world are divided into two categories. First, you have the hired help, who provide some kind of professional service. These women are allowed to have identities similar to their male counterparts, but restricted to their roles as yoga instructor, bodyguard, or toenail trimmer. Then there is a second category, a faceless rotation of freshly manicured hands and bodies, sliced and served up with careful camera angles. Who are these women? Are they girlfriends? Sex workers? Maids? For the modern man, apparently, there need be no distinction. These women typically perform the most intimate/degrading tasks. When Ashton shatters glass across his balcony, or drops an entire plate of food on the ground, without fail, one of his harem emerges from the shadows to clean up his mess for him. It is not lost on me that when Ashton lists things that may be keeping you broke, and mentions a non-supportive spouse, he uses footage of a woman serving him breakfast while he doesn't even bother to glance up at her. Supportive is code for provides free domestic labor so that you can do important manly things, like being passenger princess while watching videos about yourself, or pretending to give social media advice to a non-existent person off camera.
There's people who are already killing it, people who are already doing well. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You need to go see what's making them pop. You study their game. You don't take their entire game. You get the inspiration and then you apply it to yours.
Yeah, so if someone else is getting a lot of views, you should just do what they're doing, except change it a little bit. Oh, that's so embarrassing. You just caught me being so profound just then. For the approval of his peers, the modern man must surround himself with beautiful women, but he can't be interested in them as people. That would be wasting valuable get your money up time. They are status symbols, nothing more. Maybe this is just another engagement trick, but we can't It's Not That Deep ourselves into drowning belly up in the kiddie pool, especially when this account has gotten up to 1 billion views in a month. When children who, in a better economy, would be too busy playing with Legos are propping up their phones to parrot the alpha males projected directly into their spongy brains the moment they open social media, funneled towards increasingly extreme content to keep them scrolling. Ashton may be near the top of that funnel, but he's still there. I like to think that the average not chronically online guy is put off by an Andrew Tate type, choking out vitriolic nonsense in between clouds of cigar smoke and prison sentences. But an Ashton Hall? Didn't you see? He said thank you to his slave, I mean girlfriend, when she laid out his shoes for him.
Thank you.
Everyone clap! Ashton presents the same masculine domination in a more palatable way. It's a generic version of the red pill, misogyny light for the nice guy. This is pulled from the subtext to the dom text when we look at one of Ashton's copycats, Marvin. Offering a much more affordable fitness plan, Marvin mocks and mimics Ashton's formula for his 3.6 million followers, but he says the quiet part into a megaphone. The women in his videos literally bow before him when he enters a room, lathering his feet in champagne before his massage. He plays out these little fictional scenarios where a stock image of an attractive blonde woman desperately wants his attention, but he ignores her because he is too busy calculating the calories in his lunch. Why does not having a girlfriend and liking math have to be cool now that I'm out of high school? That's bull. Ashton is just another iteration of the same get riches, get bitches scam that we've seen over and over again. He's just better at promoting it. Though I do think there is something alarming about this move from your typical creepy dating coach advising on how to pursue women to this disinterested, passive collection of them. That's not to say that there's nothing positive to be taken from this, that waking up early, eating balanced meals, and exercising aren't worthwhile goals. I started boxing this past year and really taking my health seriously for the first time. Mentally, physically, I can really feel the difference. And I've made new connections with people who, while they may literally beat me down, emotionally lift me up to be a better version of myself every day. And that's awesome. But Ashton and men like him can't just offer common sense advice like, hey, working out and eating well will probably make you feel better, or hey, developing good habits will probably help you stay on top of your responsibilities easier, or hey, maybe you should make some friends. Isn't that right? I should really make some friends. They have to present something so demanding as to almost be unattainable without their guidance. Otherwise, why would you buy their courses?
Weak men have got no place in this new world, believe me. As a man, if you're not getting stronger every single day, you're already losing.
I think what is so dangerous about these accounts is that they speak to very real, tangible pain points in men's lives. I think a lot of men crave a sense of purpose that they feel they have been robbed of over the last century. They're convinced that by acquiring massive amounts of money, subjugating women, and returning to tradition, they will finally get their turn. Coming back from an exhausting day at the office to your rosy-cheeked wife and children, waiting at the door of a house that you paid for with a couple $1,000s and a firm handshake. Toiling in a field during a blistering summer, the sweat of your brow watering the only food your household will have to survive the winter. Bleeding out in a faraway land, knowing with your last gurgling breaths that you did everything you could to protect your family. There is a masculine martyrdom that alpha males either subtly or not so subtly promote. And what they're selling is suffering. This can present itself in different ways, like choking down dry chicken breast and plain rice, even though seasoning will have absolutely no negative impact on your gains. Or bragging about not going to the doctor because business comes first.
The reason I got super successful at a young age is because I'm literally willing to die for this. Like, I've had times where I've had literal health scares where the next smartest thing for me to do would be to go to the doctor. And I hit my team meeting before that. Business comes first. I'm willing to die on the fucking battlefield.
It's literally LARPing, so that you can pretend that that little Microsoft Teams meeting jingle is actually a war horn, that pain is just fuel for your online coaching career.
When I was a little boy and my dad died in front of me, I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, I think I'm depressed now. She's like, Vincent, you're not depressed, you're just currently unhappy. My depression from that moment moving forward was cured.
It's masochistic. It's performative. It achieves nothing outside of this vague promise that it will make you more of a man. Like, what are we doing? Come on, toughen up and make that shower colder. But why? Why though? Why do things just because you don't want to do them? Also, my guy, it's okay that you want to play with a sword in the woods. You don't have to pencil that into your schedule like it's an important duty. It's fun to play with a sword in the woods. I think what strikes me the most about Ashton Hall's account is how strangely sad even this very edited version of his life is. Everyone he interacts with is either a customer or an employee. He goes to bed alone. He doesn't even seem to really take the time to enjoy the benefits that his hard work has supposedly earned him, despite how often accounts like this show off expensive meals, watches, and vehicles. The only thing they seem to get out of it is bragging about how much they cost. This is hustle culture. Never being satisfied, never having enough, and never relaxing is a feature, not a bug. It satisfies this need for suffering. It demands that if you even take one night off, you must punish yourself with sleep deprivation to fulfill an arbitrary commitment to productivity the next day. I come from a family of truckers, assembly line workers, and roughnecks. People who had to spend their lives rising long before the sun, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. That's reality for a lot of people. But Ashton smugly sets his alarm for 3:50 a.m. after partying all night, only allowing himself a few hours of sleep. For what? So he can queen out in an undersized suit on Zoom calls all day and tell everyone on Instagram about it? You're resting. Your competition is working. Clock in. It's a pointless punishment of our bodies and minds. It's an endless hamster wheel that simultaneously fulfills the rampant materialism of a society that uses shopping as an opiate and that old Protestant principle that industriousness is an inherent moral good. How much will you sacrifice on the altar of hustle? How much is too much? Wow. Is it when basic activities have to be outsourced to other people so that you can make every single aspect of your life as efficient as possible?
I order Uber Eats, I'm cleaning the house, cleaning lady, walking the dog, I have a dog walker.
Is it when in desperation to stand out, to prove that you're working harder than everyone else, you say something insane like walking is for broke people while shoving past a family with children on the sidewalk?
Walking is for people who are broke. People don't respect their time, which is why they walk as slowly as this, and then you, as a business owner, you have to take over. It's gonna waste a lot of your time. Rich people take damn personal drivers. If you're gonna walk through the premium version of walking, which is on a freaking treadmill, making money, follow for more advice.
Is it when you literally have to convince yourself that you can transform one day into multiple days just to satisfy that incessant demand for constant output?
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack that up over a year, you're toast.
Ah yes, cavemen, who were famously around in the same century that Benjamin Franklin was flying kites and inventing new ways to have sex with the French. The hustlers of Instagram accurately identify that burdening yourself with massive amounts of debt to get an education or working a minimum wage job until the day you die are, bad options. But the solution isn't renting out an Airbnb in the desert so you can pretend to be an internet pimp, posting cars you don't own, and women who don't like you will only bandage your ego for so long. The problem is systemic, and the solution isn't to win the system or cheat the system, but to change the system. But that kind of change takes a long time and less idiots in office, so what do we do right now to make sure that the men in our lives don't turn into money-obsessed losers who treat women like objects? Well, unfortunately, someone like me only has so much reach. I can sit here talking all I want, but unfortunately, the type of person who needs to hear this message the most is also the least likely to click on this video because, I mean, look at me.
It's giving he, she, we, they, them, non-binary, vegan, vegetarian. I'm scared. I'm gonna give it 2 stars.
This guy would probably have a better shot, though he and I have about the same amount of penis. Let's just say there's not enough cleavage and Bugattis for that particular demographic. The farther someone slides down the alpha male pipeline, farther and farther past Ashton Hall, into truly dark corners of the internet, the more resistant they become to listening to anyone who is not a cis straight male. Are you a cis straight male who doesn't make videos like this? Congratulations, you're hired! The sheer de-radicalizing power of a kind of funny, average guy on the internet over the young male mind cannot be underestimated. Not some savvy political commentator or some academic expert, but you, some random dude, casually joking about these scammers has so much more influence than this entire video that I spent weeks working on. Aside from having an automatic foot in the door that I simply never will, you can do something that I think is the most important: providing an alternative role model. So often we tell boys and young men all of these things that they should not be. We do a much worse job of telling them what they should be. You can be that example of healthy masculinity that exhibits strength and success, that does not rely on the subservience of others. Ladies, no homework for you this time. Take a tight 5, but if you're a dude, I want you to go out and hug a dude today, alright? Tell him he's a special guy, and tell him that he does not need to start an online coaching business, alright? Can you do that for me? Here, how about this? I'll demonstrate, alright? Alright? Just like this. Just like, hey man. Hey man. Oh, you're a special guy. You're my special guy. There. Alright. No homo, though.